हेलो एंड वेलकम। आज यूजीसी नेट पेपर 2 इकोनॉमिक्स का जून 2025 का क्वेश्चन पेपर सॉल्व करेंगे जो 29 जून 2025 को शिफ्ट 2 में पूछा गया था। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद इकोनॉमिक्स एग्जामिनेशन। सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 to 50 बिलोंग्स टू पेपर 1 जो मैंने ऑलरेडी वीडियो अपलोड कर दिया है, आप चेकआउट कर सकते हो। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद क्वेश्चन नंबर 51। इफ Q equals to function of K and L means total output equals to function of capital and labor input is a homogeneous production function of degree 1. Which of the following satisfy Euler's theorem? So Euler's theorem में degree 1 का meaning होता है constant returns to scale. So correct answer is option 2. Partial derivative of Q with respect to K multiplied by K plus partial derivative of Q with respect to L multiplied by L equals to total output. So option 2 is correct answer. Question number 52. If the income effect is in opposite direction as substitution effect, but the substitution effect dominates, then the goods is dash. So A normal, B inferior but not given, or there is no enough information to answer. So let's check first. If income increases, the demand for normal goods also increases. So ये सेम डायरेक्शन में जा रहा है, ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन नहीं है, तो ए इज नॉट करेक्ट. लेट्स चेक अबाउट सेकेंड पॉइंट, इंफीरियर बट नॉट गिवन. करेक्ट है, क्योंकि इनकम इंक्रीज होगा तो इंफीरियर क्वालिटी का कंजम्पशन कम होगा, तो ये रिप्रेजेंट करता है ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन. प्लस सब्सटीट्यूशन इफेक्ट डोमिनेट करता है, मींस ओवर डिमांड होगा, स्टिल इट फॉलोज द लॉ ऑफ डिमांड. तो करेक्ट आंसर इज ऑप्शन 2. बट लेट्स चेक ऑप्शन 3. इफ इनकम इंक्रीजेस, गिवन गुड्स का डिमांड डिक्रीज होगा, जो इंफीरियर क्वालिटी होता है. बट गिवन गुड्स मस्ट डोमिनेट, नॉट सब्सटीट्यूशन इफेक्ट. तो ऑप्शन 3 इज नॉट करेक्ट, एंड ऑप्शन डी तो है ही नहीं, तो ऑप्शन 2 इज करेक्ट आंसर, मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट आंसर. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 53. If both input and output markets are competitive and firms are profit maximizing, then in equilibrium, each factor of production earns dash. An amount equal to price of output times total output. Price of output times means multiply by total output. Total output means Q, that is total revenue. So A is not correct. First option is not correct. Then the amount allocated by political process. It is not in competitive market. It applies to regulated market. Political process regulated market में apply होता है. Next, an amount, an equal share of output. So the factors are paid according to productivity, not equally. So option 3 is also not correct. So option 4 is correct answer. The value of its marginal product means in perfect competitive, simple competitive market बोला है, तो it is perfect competitive market. So in perfect competitive input and output market with firms having profit maximization objective, higher sub factor until factor price, that is value of marginal product. So option 4 is correct answer. Question number 54. Which of the following game does not have any Nash equilibrium? BOS गेम 2 Nash equilibrium होता है, स्टेगन गेम में भी 2 होता है, मैचिंग पेनी में 0 होता है, और प्रिजनर्स डायलेमा में 1 होता है. तो ऑप्शन 3 इज करेक्ट आंसर. आपको Nash equilibrium के ऊपर सेपरेट वीडियो चाहिए तो बताइए. तो अब एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ ये क्या होता है. ऑप्शन 1, 2 और 4 प्योर स्ट्रेटेजिक आउटकम है, मीन्स ओनली वन प्लेयर हैव टू स्विच. बट इन ऑप्शन 3 मैचिंग पेनी गेम में बोथ प्लेयर वांट्स टू स्विच. अब ये गेम क्या होता है थोड़ा डिटेल में एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ विथ एग्जांपल. इन मैचिंग पेनी गेम, फॉर एग्जांपल, टू प्लेयर्स आर देयर, ए एंड बी. बोथ hides a coin in their hands. A wants the choice to match and B wants the choice not to match. If both pick the same head or tail, अगर दोनों के हाथ में हेड आ गया तो ए जीतेगा, या अगर दोनों ने टेल रखा तो भी ए जीतेगा. अगर एक ने हेड रखा, दूसरे ने टेल रखा, तो बी जीत जाएगा. और सेम वे, ए ने टेल रखा और बी ने हेड रखा हाथ में, तो भी बी जीतेगा, क्योंकि वो मैच नहीं करने का उसका गोल होता है. सो एवरी टाइम वन ट्राइज टू ओवर स्मार्ट द अदर and other switches again. So A decides next time I'll switch, and B decides next time I'll switch. So every time one tries to outsmart other and other one switches again. Here the game never settles because the goal is to pull in opposite direction. Therefore there is no Nash equilibrium. Option 3 is correct answer here. Question number 55. In the context of classical economics, an increase in money supply cause, अगर मनी सप्लाई इंक्रीज होगा तो स्पेंडिंग बढ़ेगा और डिमांड इंक्रीज होगा. Since price and wages are flexible in classical model, so increase in supply increases demand also. So a shift in aggregate demand curve to the left or shift in the aggregate demand curve to the right, तो demand curve shift होगा right में. Increase होता है means D1 से D2 rightward shift होगा. तो option 2 is correct answer. Next, question number 56. If the value of Keynesian investment multiplier is 4, which one of the following will be the corresponding saving function? तो Keynesian investment multiplier का मीनिंग क्या होता है? How much income will change due to change in investment. अगर investment increase होता है तो उसकी वजह से income कितना increase होगा, ये specify करता है Keynesian investment multiplier. अब इसका फॉर्मूला क्या है? तो KIM का फॉर्मूला है दो फॉर्मूला से. एक तो 1 डिवाइडेड बाय मार्जिनल प्रोस्पेरिटी टू सेविंग्स या फिर 1 डिवाइडेड बाय 1 माइनस मार्जिनल प्रोस्पेरिटी टू कंज्यूम, क्योंकि MPS प्लस MPC इक्वल्स टू 1 होना चाहिए. तो दोनों में से जो फॉर्मूला एप्लीकेबल होगा वो हम यूटिलाइज करेंगे, जिस डिपेंड करता है कौन सा क्वेश्चन है उसके ऊपर. तो मार्जिनल प्रोस्पेरिटी टू कंज्यूम का मीनिंग क्या होता है? इट इज अ फ्रैक्शन ऑफ एडिशनल इनकम that a person spends on consumption rather than savings. So KIM is 4 as given in the question, equals to 1 divided by 1 minus MPC, multiply करेंगे 4 into 1 minus MPC equals to 1. तो 4 minus 4 MPC equals to 1. तो 4 MPC equals to 3. So MPC equals to 3 divided by 4, which is 0.75. So if MPC plus MPS equals to 1 और MPC हमारे पास है 0.75, इसका मीनिंग है जो रिमेनिंग अमाउंट है 0.25 विल बी और MPS. तो फॉर्मूला क्या बनता है? सेविंग फंक्शन इक्वल्स टू माइनस कंजम्पशन प्लस MPS इंटू डिस्पोजेबल इनकम. तो MPS हमें मिला 0.25 into disposable income. So option 3 is correct answer. Next, question number 57. Which of the following causes a positive output gap? Where output gap equals to actual output minus potential output. अब output gap का meaning क्या होता है? When an economy is producing more than its sustainable capacity, that is above normal output. So this happens when factor of productions like labors and machineries are overutilized or overemployed. So option 1, population growth, no, because it increases potential output and not actual output. Therefore, the answer will be negative. Technological progress also increases the potential output, so answer will be negative. Overemployment or overutilization of factor of production is correct answer as discussed earlier. So ऑप्शन 4 चेक करते हैं. अंडर यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ रिसोर्सेज रिड्यूसेस द एक्चुअल आउटपुट. तो अगेन आंसर विल बी नेगेटिव. तो ऑप्शन 4 इज आल्सो रॉन्ग. तो ऑप्शन 3 इज करेक्ट आंसर. नेक्स्ट, question number 58. In the context of ISLM model, a higher marginal propensity to spend results in dash: flatter AD, steeper IS, steeper AD, flatter IS, increase in AD, and rightward shift in IS, or increased demand for real balance. So, as you all know, we have discussed earlier that KIM formula is 1 divided by MPS or 1 divided by 1 minus MPC, and MPS plus MPC is equal to 1, means increase in MPS reduces MPC. So higher MPS means smaller multiplier and reduces AD curve. Steeper AD curve होगा और flatter IS curve होगा. So option 2 is correct answer. You can refer this and even this. Next, question number 59. Bootstrapping technique is used to dash. तो bootstrapping technique क्या होता है? Repeatedly drawing samples from the sample itself with replacement. The objective is to obtain the sample distribution of parameter of interest. Option 2 is correct answer. Next, question number 60. According to Granger and Newbold, a good rule of thumb to suspect that the estimated regression is spurious means fake, is given by dash. Higher R square with low t value, higher t value with low dw, higher R square and low dw, or higher R square and low f value. The correct answer is option 3. They say if regression shows very high R square but very low dw, it means the relationship is fake. So option 3 correct answer है. Next, question number 61. The indirect least square is applied to estimate the coefficient of the dash. Structural equation, over-identified equation, reduced form equation, or under-identified equation. So indirect least square estimate the reduced form, then convert those estimate to get coefficient of structural equation. Option 2 is correct answer. Next, question number 62. The management of manufacturing firm wishes to determine the average time required to complete certain manual operation. There should be 0.9 confidence that error in the estimate will not exceed 2 minutes. What sample size is estimated by time and motion study expert as 16 minutes? So 0.95 confidence means 95%, and margin of error E equals to 2 minutes, and sample size में identify करना है n, Z equals to 1.96 for 95% confidence interval, and formula for confidence interval for mean is Z into mean divided by E whole square. Z value is 1.96 multiplied by mean is 16 minutes divided by E is 2 minutes whole square. So 1.96 multiplied by 16 divided by 2, 15.68 square equals to 245. So almost around 246. Option D is correct answer. Next question 63. If x is Poisson variant with mean lambda, then p of x plus 1 is dash. So this question is very beautifully designed. Let's understand this question. This question is based on Poisson distribution. You have a situation where events happen randomly, like number of accidents, etc. So this type of situation follows Poisson distribution. So here x means number of events, and lambda represents average or mean value. Now question asks, if you already know the probability of getting x event, then what is the probability of getting one more event, that is x plus 1? But they won't answer in terms of p of x. So p of x, which is equals to k actually, equals to formula क्या है, e का power minus lambda multiplied by lambda to the power k divided by k factorial, where k equals to x plus 1. So p where k equals to x plus 1 equals to e का power minus lambda multiplied by lambda to the power k means x plus 1, तो power x plus 1 होगा divided by k factorial means x plus 1 का factorial. Now x plus 1 factorial equals to x plus 1 into x factorial. So यहाँ पर हम क्या कर देंगे, factorial में x factorial को add कर देंगे. So e का power minus lambda into lambda का power x divided by x factorial into lambda divided by x plus 1. So lambda divided by x plus 1 equals to p of x. So correct answer is option 1. Question number 64. A candidate is selected for interview for 3 posts. For the first post, there are 3 candidates. Second post, 4 candidates. And third post, 2 candidates. What is the probability that the candidate is selected for at least one post? So there are 3 posts, and probability of getting selected for first post is 1 divided by 3 because there are 3 candidates. For post 2 is 1/4 because there are 4 candidates. And for post 3, it's half chance. There is 50% probability that this person can be selected. So we want probability of getting selected for at least one post. That is 1 minus probability of getting selected for none. So for the first post, probability of not being selected is 2/3. For the second post, it is 3/4. And for the third post, it is half. Now we need to identify probability of not being selected for any post. So multiply 1, 2, 3. So you will get 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 1 divided by 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 2. So 6 divided by 24. That is 1/4 chance. So last step will be probability of getting selected for at least 1 is equal to 1 minus 1/4. That is 3/4. Option 3 is correct answer. Next, question number 65. The data about the sales and advertisement expenditure of a firm is given below. Sales and advertisement expense rupees in crores. Mean is 40 and 6. Standard deviation is 10 and 1.5. Coefficient of correlation means R equals to 0.9. Estimate the likely sales for the proposed advertisement of 10 crore rupees is dash. So we need to use regression estimate where y equals to sales and x equals to advertisement expense. So the formula will be y hat equals to y bar plus r into sigma y divided by sigma x into x minus x bar. So y bar means mean is 40 plus r is 0.9 into standard deviation sigma y is 10 divided by sigma x is 1.5 into x minus x bar is 6. So 40 plus 1 into 0.96 into 10 10x हो जाएगा 10 minus 6. तो क्या बन जाएगा? तो कितना होगा 40 plus 60 minus 36. So 40 plus 24 equals to 64 crore. Option 2 is correct answer. And we need to use this formula only, regression estimates. Next, question number 66. If x bar equals to 32, y bar equals to 38, the regression coefficient of bxy equals to minus 0.2337 and byx equals to negative minus 0.6643. Find the equation of the line of regression of y on x. Y on x है तो y minus y bar equals to byx into x minus x bar ये फॉर्मूला जाएगा. अब इसे सब्स्टिट्यूट करेंगे. Y minus y bar is 38 equals to byx equals to minus 0.6643 multiplied by x minus x bar is 32. Now expand. Y equals to 0.6643x plus 38 plus 21.2576, which is equal to 0.6643x plus 38 plus 21, 59.2576. So correct answer is option B, 4. Next, question number 67. If u equals to 6x square plus y square and 4x minus y equals to 1, what is the value of u? So if 4x minus y equals to 1 means y equals to 4x minus 1. Now u equals to 6x square plus y को सब्स्टिट्यूट करेंगे 4x minus 1 का होल स्क्वायर. So 6x square plus expand करो 16x square minus 8x plus 1. So 16 plus 6, 22x square minus 8x plus 1. Now to minimize, take derivatives. derivative of u divided by derivative of x equals to 44x minus 8 equals to 0. So 44x equals to 8. Therefore, x equals to 8 divided by 44, which is 4 divided by 22 and 2 divided by 11. Therefore, हमें अभी find क्या करना है? Y equals to 4x. 4 into 2 divided by 11 minus 1, which is 8 divided by 11 minus 1. Therefore, minus 3 divided by 11. Therefore, u equals to क्या था? 6x square था प्लस क्या था? y square. तो so 6 into 4 divided by 121 plus 9 divided by 121. So 24 divided by 121 plus 9 divided by 121 equals to 33 divided by 121. Therefore, 3 divided by 11. 3 divided by 11 is correct answer and option 2 is correct answer. Question number 68. Integrate x plus 3 divided by x plus 5 dx. So x plus 3 divided by x plus 5 equals to 1. X plus 3 equals to x plus 5 into minus 2. So x plus 5 minus 2 divided by x plus 5. So 1 minus 2 divided by x plus 5. Now integrate x plus 5 dx minus 2ln absolute x plus 5. Therefore minus 2 ln x plus 5 plus constant. So correct answer is option 4. 4 is correct answer. Question number 69. Given utility function x plus 2 into y plus 1 and px equals to 4, py equals to 6, budget 130, find optimum level of purchase of x star and y star. Means we have to identify optimum value of x and y that maximizes utility. So p of x plus p of y is given 130 budget. So instead of x put 11, y put 16. Then calculate whether the total is 130 or not. सेम वे आपको सब करना है और लास्ट में P4 है इंटू 16x रखेंगे प्लस P is 6 and Y is 11 इक्वल्स टू 130 आएगा. चेक करते हैं तो 16 इंटू 4 तो 4 64 प्लस 66 इक्वल्स टू 130 होता है. यस, तो ऑप्शन 4 इज करेक्ट आंसर. Question number 70. If the demand low is P equals to square root of 9 minus x and the demand is fixed at x0 equals to 5, find the consumer surplus. तो P equals to डिमांड लो में 9 माइनस x की वैल्यू 5, सो स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ 4 बनेगा विच इज 2. तो फर्स्ट स्टेप हो गया. सेकेंड स्टेप देखते हैं. कंज्यूमर सरप्लस इक्वल्स टू एरिया अंडर डिमांड कर्व माइनस पी इंटू क्यू. फॉर दिस डिमांड कर्व एरिया अंडर पी इक्वल्स टू स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ 9 minus x from 0 to 5 is already known, which is equal to 38 divided by 3. You don't need integration every time. This is the standard result of formula. And step 3 will be subtract what consumer pays, that is P into Q. So P is 2 into Q is 5, so 10 is consumer surplus. So we can say 30 divided by 3. So 38 divided by 3 जो हमें मिला था उसमें से 30 divided by 3 माइनस करेंगे तो 8 divided by 3 मिलेगा. 8 divided by 3 option 1 is correct answer. Next, question number 71. Evaluate integration of e का power minus 2x dx. तो फर्स्ट स्टेप इज टू फाइंड एंटी डेरिवेटिव. सो ई का पावर एक्स ये डेरिवेटिव है तो इसका एंटी डेरिवेटिव बन जाएगा ए का पावर एक्स. सो एंटी डेरिवेटिव ऑफ ई का पावर माइनस 2x विल बी 1 divided by minus 2 e का पावर minus 2x which is minus half into e का पावर minus 2x. Second step is to evaluate limit 1 and 2. फंडामेंटल थियरम जो है वो इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ ई का पावर -2x dx इक्वल्स टू जो हमने अभी आइडेंटिफाई किया था वो सेम, तो माइनस ऑफ ई का पावर -4 माइनस ई का पावर -2। नाउ सिंप्लीफाई करेंगे, so half of e का पावर -2 minus e का पावर -4. So correct answer is option 3. Question number 72. Assume that the rate of investment is described by function it, which is 12t 1/3. 1 और 3 है ये रेट ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट है, ये परसेंटेज में आइडेंटिफाई होगा। कैपिटल स्टॉक K0 is 25 मीन्स इन्वेस्टमेंट अगर आज करेंगे तो प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट है 25, तो फाइंड करना है, फाइंड द टाइम पाथ ऑफ कैपिटल शॉक के। सिंपल टर्म में ये क्वेश्चन का मीनिंग ये होता है कि इफ कैपिटल स्टार्ट्स एट 25 रुपीज एंड ग्रोस एट दिस परसेंटेज, what will be the capital after time t? So formula will be kt which is equal to it which is 12t का पावर 1 या 3, तो इंटीग्रेट करेंगे 12t 1 और 3 dt equals to 12.34 t 4 and 3. So this will be 9 t 4 and 3. Use ko या k0 that is the same 25, add 25 and kt will be 90 का power 4 and 3 plus 25 plus 25. So this will be the correct answer. So option 2 is correct answer. Next, question number 73. A company has estimated its cost and revenue structure and has determined C, total cost, R, total revenue, and X, the total number of units produced are related as C equals to 100 plus 0.05 x square and R equals to 3x. Find the product level X that will maximize profit of the company. तो प्रॉफिट का मीनिंग क्या होता है? R minus C, revenue minus cost. So R is 3x minus C कितना है? 100 plus 0.015 x square है, तो डिफरेंशिएट करेंगे 3 minus 0.03x. So set to 0, 3 minus 0.03x equals to 0, therefore x equals to 100. So correct answer is option 4. Question number 74. A Stokes-Samuelson theorem postulates that A. An increase in relative price of commodity rises the earnings of factors used intensively in the production of the commodity. Correct? Option A is correct answer. इसका मीनिंग क्या होता है? A result in international trade as per HO मॉडल, आपको पता रहेगा, जो हेक्सर-ओलिन मॉडल है वो, उसमें बताया कि when price increases, input like labor and capital will also earn more income. So option 1 is correct answer. Question number 75. Which of the following correctly states the formula to compute rate of effective protection? इसका मीनिंग क्या होता है? How much extra production domestic producer actually gets after considering two things. First, tariff on final product, which helps the producer. And second, tariff on imported inputs, raw material they use, means which hurts the producer. तो formula होगा option 1, where T equals to tariff that protects the final goods, A subset I, and T subset I means tariff cost on imported goods, and 1 minus A base I का मीनिंग होता है share of added value. तो option 1 is correct answer. Question number 76. In the product life cycle model of international trade, in which stage the imitating country starts underselling the innovating country in third market? तो आपको पता ही होगा प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकिल मॉडल का जो फॉर्मेट है वो ये टाइप का दिखता है, और इसमें फर्स्ट स्टेप इज इंट्रोडक्शन स्टेज, then second is growth stage, third is maturity stage, fourth is डिक्लाइनिंग स्टेज जहाँ पे इंटरनेशनल ट्रांसफर होता है, मीन्स एक्सपोर्ट होता है उस प्रोडक्ट का टू थर्ड मार्केट. दिस विल बी फोर्थ स्टेज एंड फिफ्थ स्टेज विल बी रिवर्स ट्रेड जहाँ पे बूस्ट होता है, फिर से रिकवरी हो जाती है. करेक्ट आंसर इज स्टेज 4. ऑप्शन 3 इज करेक्ट आंसर. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 77. The null hypothesis that all slope coefficients are simultaneously equal to 0 is tested in logit model by f-test, t-test, chi-square और likelihood ratio statistic. ऑप्शन 4 इज करेक्ट आंसर. अब ये होता क्या है, क्वेश्चन क्या पूछा है, लॉजिट मॉडल क्या होता है वो सब देखते हैं. लॉजिट मॉडल मीन्स logistic regression model. It is used when dependent variable is binary. It means it takes only two possible outcomes like yes or no, 1 or 0, success or failure, etc. So in this model, overall model significance, that is testing whether all slopes coefficient are simultaneously equal to 0, is tested using LR ratio statistic. So option 4 is correct answer. Next, question number 78. Which of the following is not true according to classical view of public debt? Public debt financing requires fund for interest payment and amortization, hence a double burden on taxpayer. True. इसका मीनिंग इंटरेस्ट प्लस रीपेमेंट ऑफ कैपिटल होता है, जो अमाउंट बोरो किया होता है उसका. नेक्स्ट, पब्लिक डेट फाइनेंसिंग सपोर्ट्स कंपेंसेटरी बजट पॉलिसी एज अ टूल फॉर स्टिमुलेटिंग एग्रीगेट डिमांड. नो, बजट डिमांड कैसे इंक्रीज हो सकता है, स्टिमुलेट करना मीन्स इंक्रीज करना. अकॉर्डिंग टू क्लासिकल इकोनॉमिस्ट, पब्लिक डेट इज हार्मफुल, इसलिए उन्होंने अपोज किया गवर्नमेंट बोरोइंग्स को. तो ऑप्शन 2 इज नॉट ट्रू. ऑप्शन 2 इज करेक्ट आंसर एक्चुअली. थर्ड देख लेते हैं. Public debt creates banned production and consumption and burden is transferred to future generation. True. Public debt destroys capital which otherwise can be used for productively. Correct. So option 2 is correct answer. It is wrong statement. Question number 79. Which of the following is not true? The effect of any tax can be decomposed into income effect and substitution effect. Correct. When tax is imposed, real income decreases and relatively price of goods also change. Therefore, they start substituting one goods for another. Next, there is substitution effect associated with lump sum tax and no income effect. No, lump sum tax only reduces income and does not change relative price. Only income effect exists. Third, the greater the substitution effect, the greater is the deadweight loss. Correct. Deadweight का मीनिंग होता है वेलफेयर. Option third is also correct. And fourth, there is also deadweight loss associated with the reduction in price received by producer as a result of imposition of tax. Correct. Because producer often receive less than before. This reduces production and leads to inefficiency. So you must have heard about this reduction in GST in recent time. So if GST is reduced, the producer will keep the price at the same level, इंक्लूडिंग जीएसटी. जो प्राइस पे था उसी लेवल पे रखते हैं, क्योंकि वो उनका फिर प्रॉफिट हो जाता है. अगर टैक्स इम्पोज हो गया तो उनका प्रॉफिट कम हो जाएगा. अगर उन्होंने एमआरपी सेट किया सेम रहेगा तो ऑप्शन 3 इज नॉट ट्रू. ऑप्शन 1, 3, 4 आर करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट्स. Next, question number 80. Which of the following is true in case of goods that is crowded city sidewalk? It is non-excludable and non-rivalry, excludable but not rivalry, non-excludable but rivalry और excludable and rivalry in nature. तो इसके ऊपर मैंने ऑलरेडी डिस्कशन किया था प्रीवियस पेपर में. मीनिंग क्या होता है वो भी एक्सप्लेन किया था. तो क्राउडेड सिटी साइड वॉक की वजह से क्या होता है, वन पर्सन का यूज दूसरा पर्सन को लिमिटेशन दे देता है. और ऑप्शन 3 इज करेक्ट आंसर बिकॉज इट इज नॉन एक्सक्लूडेबल बट rivalry in nature. So option 3. Next, question number 81. If the MPC is 0.8 and initial increase in tax revenue by government is 100 rupees, then the impact on national income would be increase by 100, increase by 500, decrease by 400 और decrease by 100. तो MPC 0.8 है और टैक्स इंक्रीज करने की वजह से डिस्पोजेबल इनकम डिक्रीज हो जाएगा, अल्टीमेटली कंजम्पशन डिक्रीज होगा एंड नेशनल इनकम रिड्यूस होगा. तो ये दोनों में से कोई एक ऑप्शन होना चाहिए. एनआई डिक्रीज तो होगा पर 400 से या 100 से, ये कैलकुलेट करने के लिए हमें टैक्स मल्टीप्लायर अप्लाई करना होगा। फॉर्मूला है एमपीसी डिवाइडेड बाय एमपीएस, बट वी डोंट हैव एमपीएस, सो वी विल कैलकुलेट बाय 1 माइनस एमपीएस, और ये नेगेटिव होगा। सो 0.8 divided by 1 minus 0.8, so 0.8 divided by 0.2, which is minus 4. So change in income will be minus 4 into 100, that is 400 से decrease होगा। Option 3 is correct answer. Next, question number 82. In which of the following year the mandate or preamble of RBI has been amended? 2019, 24, 16 or 2007? So the preamble was modified to state the goals of maintaining price stability and growth. 2016. Next, question number 83. Which of the following is likely to lead to rise in the output cost of disinflation? Inflation expectation becomes more accurate, sluggish, response of wage and price to monetary contraction, gradual policy response, or rational expectation. So inflation expectation becomes more accurate is not correct, because accurate inflation information means faster adjustment and ultimately output cost reduce होगा। तो option 2 is correct answer, because when wage and price reduces, employment also reduces, इसका मीनिंग ही होता है। तो ऑप्शन 2 इज करेक्ट आंसर। और साथ में आउटपुट भी रिड्यूस होगा, तो इंक्रीज इन आउटपुट कॉस्ट होगा और सेक्रीफाइस रेशियो जिसे बोलते हैं। क्वेश्चन नंबर 83. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज लाइकली टू लीड टू राइज इन आउटपुट कॉस्ट ऑफ डिसइंफ्लेशन? Inflation expectation becomes more accurate? No, because accurate inflation expectation means faster adjustment, which reduces the output cost. So A is not correct. B, sluggish response of wage and prices to monetary contraction. Correct. Wage and price reduce होगा तो employment reduce होगा and output भी reduce होगा. So output cost बढ़ेगा, जिसे sacrifice ratio बोलते हैं. Option 2 is correct answer. Next, question number 84. According to Lucas critic, it assumes monetary policy not to be neutral with respect to real variables. Not to be नहीं आना चाहिए, तो A is not correct. Second, drifting coefficient can make macroeconomic model are more reliable. नहीं, ये less reliable है, तो option 2 is not correct. Next, Keynesian model correctly considers the impact of policy on future expectation. No, Keynesian model ignores change in expectations, तो ये भी नहीं होगा। तो correct answer is option 4. The stability of coefficient of model are important for policy prediction. He argued that traditional econometric model fail because the parameter, that is coefficient, change when policy change. For reliable policy prediction, coefficient must be stable and based on micro foundations, means behavioral rule जो होता है वो। तो option 4 is correct answer. Next, question number 85. According to neoclassical growth theory, an increasing saving rate raises growth rate of output in short run. Correct. Option 1 is correct, because increasing saving rate increases capital accumulation, means faster output growth for temporary period, means short run. And in the long run, the growth returns to steady state rate determined by technology and population growth, not by savings. So option 1 is correct. Increase long run growth rate output? No, output नहीं, टेक्नोलॉजी हो सकता है वो। लॉन्ग रन में टेक्नोलॉजी की वजह से ग्रोथ रेट बढ़ेगा, आउटपुट की वजह से नहीं। तो 2 इज इनकरेक्ट. डिक्रीज द स्टेडी स्टेट कैपिटल लेबर रेशियो? नो, इंक्रीज होता है ये। और डिक्रीज द लॉन्ग रन लेवल ऑफ कैपिटल एंड आउटपुट पर हेड? नो, इट ऑल्सो इंक्रीजेस। तो 2, 3, 4 is incorrect. Option 1 is correct answer. Question number 86. The idea of constructing poverty weighted indices of growth is dash to give at least equal weight to all income groups in society. Correct. To achieve higher growth rate, to facilitate foreign trade on equal basis, to assign more value or weight on income group of richest population and no weight on lower income group. No. 2, 3, 4, all 3 are incorrect. 1 is correct answer. अब देखते हैं ये होता क्या है। पॉवर्टी वेटेड इंडेक्स ऑफ ग्रोथ क्या होता है? It measures how economic growth benefits the poor, not just the overall economy. In normal growth rate, all income changes are treated equally. But in this case, more weight is given to low income group so that growth helping the poor counts more than growth helping to rich. The formula is summation of income growth rate into weight of income group, where weights are higher for poor and lower for the rich person. So option 1 is correct answer. Option 2, to achieve high growth rate. No, it is a goal of policy, not a purpose. Okay. Then to facilitate foreign trade on equal basis, foreign trade is not related and it assign more value or weight on income group of richest population. Opposite है ये. Poor पे high रहेगा और no weight to lower नहीं high income group होगा. तो ऑप्शन 1 is correct answer. हाँ, इसका मीनिंग आपको पता हो. Question number 87. Which of the following is not correct about Harrod-Domar model of economic growth? The natural rate of growth is made up of growth of labor force and labor productivity. Correct. The actual growth, G, is greater than the warranted growth. G can continue to diverge from GW only until it hits the natural growth rate, GN. Correct. G can never, G can be greater than GN in the long run. No. Full employment of labor and capital requires G equals to GW and GN. Correct. So option 3 is correct answer. It is wrong statement and 4 is also correct. So 1 to 4 correct, 3 wrong है. तो इसका मीनिंग क्या होता है पहले वो डिस्कस करते हैं. हेरोड-डमर मॉडल क्या बताता है? It explains how investment drives economic growth and it also shows relationship between savings, investment, output to determine the growth rate of economy. तो फॉर्मूला बनता है G equals to S divided by V. इसका मीनिंग क्या होता है? Growth rate of output equals to savings rate divided by capital output ratio. तो ऑप्शन ए, ऑप्शन 1, 2 एंड 4 आर करेक्ट आंसर. अब जी का मीनिंग क्या होता है? इट इज एक्चुअल ग्रोथ जो दिया है वो. वारंटेड ग्रोथ का मीनिंग क्या होता है? ग्रोथ रेट नीडेड टू कीप ऑल द कैपिटल फुली यूटिलाइज्ड. एंड जीएन का मीनिंग होता है नेचुरल ग्रोथ रेट, मीन्स मैक्सिमम पॉसिबल रेट एट विच फुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट. तो ऑप्शन 3 कैसे रॉन्ग हो गया? तो इफ actual growth is greater than natural growth rate, then economy cannot sustain it because of labor shortage, and output can never grow faster than the natural growth. So option 3 is wrong statement. Next, question number 88. Which of the following statement best defines property rights? Property rights refers only government ownership of labor and capital. No, it applies to both private and public. So A is not correct. Then property rights are informal social goods that cannot be enforced by law. No, it is enforceable, no? Formal and legally enforceable. Then property rights are legally enforced right to determine how resources used, owned and transferred. Correct. Option 3 is correct. और fourth क्या बोलता है? Property rights prevent individual from profiting from private property. No. Option 3 is correct answer and most appropriate answer. Question number 89. Lexicographic preference violates which of the following axioms of utility theory? Axioms means assumptions. और lexicographic preference means क्या होता है? It means ranking goods in a strict priority order. For example, words in the dictionary. So in utility theory, axioms are logical conditions that must hold for a person's preference to be represented by utility formula. Or axioms like completeness, transitivity, continuity, etc. So no matter how much of second goods you add, it cannot compensate for the tiny loss of the first. For example, if consumer values food more than clothing, between 5 foods and 1 cloth and 4 foods and 100 cloth, they choose 5 food and 1 cloth only because food comes first. No, that's why. So correct answer is continuity axioms. Option 1 is correct answer. Question number 90. Which of the following is operating target of monetary policy conducted by RBI? Repo rate, reverse repo rate, weighted average, call money, or MSF? Correct answer is option 3. It acts as a link between repo rate and stable prices. Option 3 is correct answer. Next, Question number 91. Arrange the following crises in chronological order starting from the oldest. OPEC oil crisis 1973, international debt crisis 1982, East Asian financial crisis 1997, Argentinian economic crisis 2001 and Eurozone crisis 2009-10. तो करेक्ट सीक्वेंस क्या होगा? A, B, C, D, E. Option 1 is correct answer. Chronological order same ही है. Next, question number 92. Arrange the following round in chronological order starting from the oldest. Millennium Round of Trade Negotiation 1999, Doha Round 2001 onwards, Uruguay Round 1986 to 1994 था, Kennedy Round 1964 to 1967 चला था और टोक्यो राउंड 1973 to 1979 है. तो करेक्ट सीक्वेंस क्या है? डी, ई, सी, ए, बी. DECAB. Option 4 is correct answer. Question number 93. Arrange the following tax reform committees on the basis of their year of constitution starting from the oldest. राजा चलिया टैक्स रिफॉर्म कमेटी 1991 में एस्टेब्लिश हुई थी. टी.आर. रस्तोगी कमेटी 2003 में, विजय केलकर 2002, देन पार्थसारथी में 2012 में और के.एल. राखी कमेटी 1985 में. तो करेक्ट सीक्वेंस होगा ई, ए, सी, बी, डी. ई, ए, सी, बी, डी. ऑप्शन 2 करेक्ट आंसर है. Question number 94. Arrange the following chairman of Finance Commission in order of their appointment starting from the oldest. M. Khusro 1998 11th Finance Commission में, C. Rangarajan 2003 12th Finance Commission में, N.K.P. Salve 1987 9th Finance Commission, Brahmananda Reddy 1972 6th Finance Commission and K.C. Pant 1992 10th Finance Commission में था. तो करेक्ट सीक्वेंस क्या हो गया? डी, सी, ई, ए, बी. डी, सी, ई, ए, बी. ऑप्शन 4 is correct answer. Next, question number 94. Arrange the following item on the basis of expenditure allocation made in Union Budget 25-26 in descending order. Okay, agriculture allied, एजुकेशन, डिफेंस, कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्री, रूरल डेवलपमेंट. तो डिफेंस में तो सबसे हाईएस्ट होता है, वो सबको पता ही है, तो उसी को सेंटर रख के हम आंसर निकाल सकते हैं. सो ए, एग्रीकल्चर एंड अलाइड एक्टिविटीज में जो कंट्रीब्यूशन किया था वो 1.7 लाख करोड़ था. एजुकेशन में 1.28 लाख करोड़, डिफेंस में 4.91 लाख करोड़, देन कॉमर्स इंडस्ट्री 65,000 करोड़, रूरल डेवलपमेंट 1.9 लाख करोड़. तो करेक्ट सीक्वेंस डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर में क्या होगा? स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम डिफेंस सी, देन 1.9 lakh, rural development E, then A, agriculture, then education B, and lastly D, commerce and industry. C, E, A, B, D. Option 2 is correct answer. Next, question number 96. Arrange the following derivative market in India in chronological order starting from the oldest to latest. डेरिवेटिव मार्केट मीन्स फ्यूचर ऑप्शन वाला मार्केट जो स्टॉक मार्केट में ट्रेड होता है, और इट ऑल्सो इंक्लूड्स फॉरवर्ड एंड स्वॉप्स. सो फर्स्ट पॉइंट, commencement of trading in options on individual securities started in the year 2001 जो जुलाई में हुआ था. इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट रेट फ्यूचर्स जून 2003 में. देन commencement of trading in stock futures नवंबर 2001 में. इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ फ्यूचर्स ट्रेडिंग बेस्ड ऑन इंडेक्स ये हुआ था जून 2000 में. एंड commencement of trading in index options started in the year June 2001. 2001, तो करेक्ट ओल्डेस्ट टू लेटेस्ट सीक्वेंस क्या होगा? स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 2000 जून, तो डी से स्टार्ट होगा। फिर जून 2020 2001 ई, फिर जुलाई 2001 ए, फिर नवंबर 2001 सी, और लास्ट में बी। डी ई ए सी बी, ऑप्शन 2 is correct answer. Question number 97. Arrange the following work of James Keynes in chronological order starting from oldest to latest. Treatise on Money 1930. General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money 1936. Indian Currency and Finance 1913. Monetary Theory of Production 1933, and Tract on Monetary Reforms 1923. The correct sequence will be C, E, A, D, B. Option 2 is correct answer. Next, question number 98. Arrange the following rates in ascending order as decided in 54th meeting of Monetary Policy Committee, RBI, MSF, HDF, CRR, RRR, RR. तो सबसे पहले MSF का रेट है 6.25%, फिर HDF 5.75%, CRR was 4.5%, reverse repo rate 3.35% and repo rate 6%. तो करेक्ट इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर, असेंडिंग ऑर्डर क्या होगा? लोएस्ट डी, फिर सी, देन बी, ई एंड ए. D, C, B, E, A. Option 3 is correct answer. Then, question number 99. Arrange the following publication in chronological order starting from lowest to oldest to latest. Theory of Economic Growth was written in the year 1955. Publication हुआ था. A contribution to theory of economic growth was published in the year 1956. Then the stages of economic growth was published in the year 1960, and an inquiry into poverty of nation 1968, and strategy of economic development 1958. So correct sequence chronological order क्या होगा? A, B, E, C, D. A, B, E, C, D. Option 4 is correct answer. Question number 100. Arrange the following environmental conventions or summit in sequence starting from the oldest. Kyoto Protocol 1907 to reduce greenhouse gas emission. Then Minamata Convention 2013 में मर्क्यूरी पे जो हुआ था वो. स्टॉकहोम्स कन्वेंशन 2001 में पीओपी के ऊपर है. देन UNREDD ये 2008 में हुआ था. यूनाइटेड नेशंस प्रोग्राम ऑन रिड्यूसिंग एमिशन फ्रॉम डिफोरेस्टेशन एंड फॉरेस्ट डिग्रेडेशन. और यह समिट हुआ था 1992 में, यूनाइटेड नेशंस कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑन एनवायरमेंट एंड डेवलपमेंट में जो हुआ था वो. सो करेक्ट सीक्वेंस क्या होगा? क्रोनोलॉजिकल ऑर्डर स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम ओल्डेस्ट इज स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम ई, ए, सी, डी, बी. Option 1 is correct answer. Next, question number 101. Arrange the following union government deficit as percentage of GDP of the year 23-24 in ascending order as per Union Budget 25-26. So, fiscal deficit was around 5.6%. Fiscal deficit का meaning क्या होता है? How much government borrows in a year. Then effective revenue deficit was around 1.7%. इसका मीनिंग होता है रेवेन्यू डेफिसिट माइनस ग्रांट. प्राइमरी डेफिसिट का मीनिंग होता है फिस्कल डेफिसिट माइनस इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट विच इज 2%. करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट का मीनिंग होता है डिफरेंस बिटवीन एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट ऑफ गुड्स, इंटरेस्ट, डिविडेंड एंड प्रॉफिट रिसीव्ड एंड पेड, एंड यूनिलेटरल ट्रांसफर का डिफरेंस एटसेट्रा, विच वॉज अराउंड 0.7%. सबसे लोएस्ट होता है वो. और रेवेन्यू डेफिसिट का मीनिंग होता है रेवेन्यू इनकम माइनस रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर, जो नेगेटिव बैलेंस आता है वो. मीन्स रेवेन्यू इनकम इज लेस देन रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर विच वॉज अराउंड 2.6%. सो असेंडिंग ऑर्डर में रखना है तो डी, फिर आएगा बी, सी, ई एंड ए. डी, बी, सी, ई, ए. Option 3 is correct answer. Next, question number 102. Arrange the following countries based on the market capitalization to nominal GDP ratio at the end of December 24 in ascending order as per Economic Survey 24-25. UK, India, China, Brazil and Japan. तो ये लोएस्ट था ब्राजील में और हाईएस्ट था जापान में. तो स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम डी और एंडिंग टू ई, ऑप्शन 3 is correct answer. Then question number 3. Arrange the following sector in descending order. अब याद रखना उल्टा पूछा है. As per their shares in total FDI in India in first half of financial year 25 as per Economic Survey 24-25. Automobile industry, hospital and diagnostic center, cement and gypsum product, software and hardware product, नॉन कन्वेंशनल एनर्जी. तो ये हाईएस्ट था इन आईटी सेक्टर, हमेशा हाईएस्ट रहता है एफडीआई. तो ऑप्शन डी विल बी द स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट. और लार्जेस्ट आउटसोर्सिंग भी है सॉफ्टवेयर का इसलिए. और देन सेकंड रहेगा रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, जो ग्रीन एनर्जी होता है. तो डी, ई से जो स्टार्ट होता है वो करेक्ट सीक्वेंस है. ऑप्शन 1 इज करेक्ट आंसर. Then question number 104. Arrange the following countries in descending order based on their current account balance as a percentage of GDP in the period quarter 2 financial year 25 as per Economic Survey 24-25. इंडिया, रशिया, चाइना, यूके एंड साउथ अफ्रीका है. तो सबसे पहले आएगा चाइना, सी, फिर है रशिया, देन इंडिया, फिर साउथ अफ्रीका एंड यूके. अब चाइना इज द हाईएस्ट लार्जेस्ट सरप्लस कंट्री. फिर रशिया है द स्ट्रॉन्ग सरप्लस कंट्री, ये भी सरप्लस में. फिर इंडिया डेफिसिट में पर लो डेफिसिट है इसका. फिर आता है साउथ अफ्रीका जो मॉडरेट डेफिसिट में, और हाईएस्ट डेफिसिट में यूके. अब कंफ्यूज मत होना कि यूके डेफिसिट में कैसे आ गया, क्योंकि वो डेवलप्ड कंट्री मानी जाती है बिकॉज इट इज अ सर्विस ड्रिवन कंट्री. तो उनको जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग गुड्स होता है वो इंपोर्ट करना पड़ता है, इसलिए हाईएस्ट डेफिसिट में यूके है. तो सी, बी, ए, ई, डी is correct sequence. Option 3 is correct answer. Question number 105. Arrange the expenditure allocation of following items as percentage of union government expenditure as per Union Budget 25-26 in ascending order. Finance Commission and other transfer 8% है. इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट, हमारा इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट 20% हाईएस्ट है. पेंशन 4% है. पेंशन 4%. मेजर सब्सिडीज 6%. एंड सेंट्रल सेक्टर स्कीम एक्सक्लूडिंग कैपिटल आउटले ऑन डिफेंस, तो ये है 16%. तो करेक्ट सीक्वेंस क्या होगा इन असेंडिंग ऑर्डर स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम पेंशन, सी, देन डी, ए, ई एंड बी. तो करेक्ट सीक्वेंस इज ऑप्शन 2, सी, डी, ए, ई, बी. Next, question number 106. Which of the following are true pertaining to the problems of asymmetric information? A. Seller can deal with the problem of asymmetric information by sending the buyer signals about the quality of product. True. B point. If a seller of product has better information about its quality than buyer, then bad products tend to drive good products out of market. True. According to efficiency wage theory, a wage lower than the competitive wage increases worker productivity by discouraging the workers from shrinking the job. No. So C is not correct. Adverse selection arises because of asymmetric information in the insurance market. True. Owners can avoid principal agent problem by designing contract that gives their agent incentive to perform better. True. So A, B, D, E are true. So option 4 is correct answer. Next, question number 107. Which of the following conditions are required for the set of consumers to exhibit parallel straight wealth expansion path at any price vector P? So Choose the correct answer from the options given below. A, B, C, D, E statements. Which of the following statements are correct? So question is asked. We want that when income increases, the demand also changes or increases in the same pattern. So all the income demand lines are parallel and straight line. So option A, preferences admit indirect utility function of the government form. So it means all consumers spend extra income in the same proportion for the goods. Therefore, demand increases in the same pattern as income increases. So parallel and straight दोनों पैटर्न बनता है. तो ऑप्शन ए इज करेक्ट आंसर. देन preferences are heterogeneous. No, because different people have different choices. So income and demand lines जो होती है वो different होता है और non parallel होगा. Next, wealth is equally distributed among all the consumers. It means equal income or equal wealth has no role in creating parallel lines. So option C is not correct. All consumers have identical preferences that are homothetic. True, because people have same pattern of liking. Therefore, rich or poor consumption pattern doesn't differ. Their consumption pattern will be the same, hence parallel. And E point, all consumers have preference that are quasi-linear with respect to the same goods. True, because all prefer one main good similarly, therefore similar, that is parallel. So option A, B, A, D, E, A, D, E are correct answer and option 2 is correct answer. Next, question number 108. Which of the following are true regarding the outcome of consumers optimization process? Consumer optimization means consumer equilibrium. So consumer will be in equilibrium when he actually what he is paying will be equal to willingness to pay. So let's check point A. The marginal utility per rupee spent on each goods is the same. True, because mu of x divided by px equals to mu y divided by py, which means if one side were bigger, the consumer would shift rupee towards that goods and increases total utility. Therefore, they are not at optimum level. Second, marginal rate of substitution between goods is equal to ratio of price between the goods. True. इसका मीनिंग क्या होता है? MRS equals to price ratio, means MRS of xy equals to mu of x divided by mu of y, which is equal to p of x divided by p of y. तो ऑप्शन B is also correct. Means indifference कर्व का जो slope होता है that is equal to slope of budget line at equilibrium point. Next, consumer reaches the highest IC in the IMAP. No, because it is limited to budget only. तो highest IC तक नहीं पहुंच पाएगा, वो budget line के अंदर ही रहेगा. तो C is not correct. The consumer IC is in tangent to his or her budget line. Correct. ग्राफ देखा रहेगा तो उसमें आपने देखा रहेगा कि जो आईसीस होते हैं उसमें जो बजट लाइन होता है उसी के लिमिटेड होता है और टेंजेंट होता है. ये बजट लाइन है तो आईसी कर्व उसके टेंजेंट होता है. तो ऑप्शन डी इज आल्सो करेक्ट. लेट्स चेक ई. From utility point of view, consumer is indifferent between any 2 point on his or her budget line. करेक्ट है. अगर बजट लाइन के अंदर हो, बजट लाइन के ऊपर कोई भी पॉइंट पे आईसी के पॉइंट पे उसको सेम लेवल ऑफ सेटिस्फेक्शन मिलेगा, यूटिलिटी मिलेगी. तो ई इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट बट नेट ने ई को रॉन्ग दिया है. बट इट इज एक्चुअली राइट. तो ए बी डी ई इज करेक्ट आंसर and option 4 is correct answer. Net has given option 3 as correct answer. Question number 109. According to classical economics, an increase in government deficit spending leads to dash. Increase in government deficit spending means government borrowing जो करते हैं ज्यादा जिसकी वजह से वो deficit में जाते हैं. तो ड्यू टू इंक्रीज इन गवर्नमेंट बोरोइंग्स हमें ऑप्शंस दिए वो आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि करेक्ट है कि नहीं. A shift in demand for loanable fund to the right. True, because if government borrowings increases, demand also increases. Then decline in interest rate. No, interest rate will be increased. इंक्रीज इन इन्वेस्टमेंट, नो, इन्वेस्टमेंट डिक्रीज होगा क्योंकि डिस्करेज होंगे लोग. नेक्स्ट, increase in saving equal to decline in consumption. True, because to fund deficit, people will consume less, there will be less consumption and less savings. तो increase in saving नहीं, उसका opposite होगा. And last, decrease in investment and consumption that balances the increase in government spending. Correct, इसे बोलते हैं crowding out. Option A, D, E are correct and option 2 is correct answer. Question number 110. Which of the following are the effect of increase in government spending in ISLM framework in closed economy? So if government spending increases, it also increases output or income, which causes ISLM count to shift in the right side. And it also increases the interest rate, which also increase the demand. तो अब चेक करते हैं which of the following statements are correct. Increase in income by multiplier times government expenditure. True. Government expenditure means government spending increases, so there will be increase in income. Next, shift in IS curve to the right leading to disequilibrium in the money market at given level of interest rate. True. Right side shift होता है. Quantity of money demand will be higher. Correct. Demand will be higher. So C is also correct. Interest rate decreases. No. Interest rate increase होता है. तो D is wrong. Next, private investment will increase, leading to increase in aggregate demand. No, E is also wrong because increase in interest reduces investment. So it is called as crowding out effect. So option A, B, C are correct and option 3 is correct answer. Next, question number 111. Which of the following are correct in case of normal distribution? So normal distribution में mu3 for normal distribution is 0. True, because normal distribution is symmetric, therefore skewness is 0. So option A is correct. Then second, beta 2 for normal distribution is 0. No, because beta base 2 का formula क्या है? mu4 divided by standard deviation base 4 equals to 3 होता है. So that is not correct. Mean deviation about mean for normal distribution is 4 by 5 sigma. This is also correct because mean deviation का formula क्या है? 4 by 5 divided by sigma, which is 0.8 sigma. So option C is correct. Option D is wrong because mu4 for normal distribution is not 2 sigma power 4, it is 3 sigma power 4. So option D is also wrong. Characteristics function for normal distribution is this. So it is correct because जो 5 होता है उसका फॉर्मूला सेम है और ऑप्शन E is also correct. So A, C, E are correct and option 1 is correct answer. Next, by using uniqueness property of MGF, which of the following are correct distribution if MGF is as follows? So MGF can be Poisson and binomial. पॉइजन मीन्स हमें लेमडा मिलेगा और बाइनोमियल में एन और पी मिलेगा अवेलेबल. तो इसका फॉर्मूला होगा ई पावर लेमडा मल्टीप्लाई बाय ई रेज टू टी माइनस 1 एंड बाइनोमियल का फॉर्मूला रहेगा एम ऑफ टी इक्वल्स टू 1 माइनस पी प्लस पी ई रेज टू 1 होल स्क्वायर एंड एन होता है. तो option A is not correct because this fits in binomial distribution and not Poisson distribution. B, this format is same as per binomial distribution, so B is correct and this expression is given as per Poisson distribution. So B and C both are correct. Let's check D. This is also same as Poisson distribution, so D is also correct and this represents negative binomial, so E is not correct. So B, C, D are correct. Option 2 is correct answer. Question number 113, player 1 and 2, strategy T, M, B और कुछ डेटा दिया है. Which of the following statement are true about the above payoff metrics. So choose the correct answer. Option A. Player 1 has two strictly dominated strategies. Check करते हैं. M B में से strategy B dominates both T and B because it has higher payoff as compared to T and M in every column. तो option 1 is correct. B check करते हैं. None of the strategy of player 2 are weakly dominated. No, because under L payoff is 5, 6 and 7 and under R 3, 4, 2. So R is strictly dominated by L. Next, strategy T weakly dominates strategy B. So compare T and B for player 1. So L में T equals to 1 और B का है 3. सेम वे R में T का है 0 और B का है 2. So T is worse, not dominating. So option C is also not correct. Next, strategy M of player 1. Strategy M for player 1 never be used in Nash equilibrium. Correct. Since B strictly dominates M, so equilibrium never uses. So Nash equilibrium never uses M. So D is correct. Strategy M strictly dominates T. This is also correct because when we compare M and T, L में 2 is greater than 1 और R में 1 is greater than 0. तो E also correct. So A, D, E are correct and option 2 is correct answer. Question number 114. Which of the following indicates the country B is capital abundant country? Capital abundant means capital intensive or sufficient capital available in the country. तो चेक करते हैं. Total capital divided by total labor in B country is greater than total capital divided by total labor in A country. True, because higher capital labor ratio होगा capital numerator में, तो capital labor ratio is higher है B का, तो capital abundant country है, ये represent करता है. तो option A is correct. Then statement 2. ये less than है तो ये opposite है, तो it is not correct. Price of capital is numerator में और प्राइस ऑफ लेबर इज इन डिनोमिनेटर. तो प्राइस ज्यादा है कंट्री बी का, ये रिप्रेजेंट करता है. सो दैट रिप्रेजेंट्स बी में प्राइस सस्ता है ऑफ कैपिटल एज कंपेयर टू ए कंट्री का. तो दैट इज करेक्ट. कैपिटल अबंडेंट कंट्री का जो प्राइस रेशियो होता है, प्राइस ऑफ कैपिटल विल बी लोअर देन लेबर और लोअर देन एनी अदर कंट्री ऑल्सो. तो सी इज करेक्ट. When country B has more capital, price of capital is lower relative to the labor. And D option यहाँ पे greater than A है, तो ये opposite हो गया. और E में क्या है? Total labor divided by total capital of B. तो यहाँ पे numerator को denominator बना दिया और यहाँ पर भी price of capital है, तो mix कर दिया है capital and labor in wrong way. तो E also wrong. तो A and C are correct only. Option 2 is correct answer. Question number 115. Which of the following comprises current account of balance of payment? तो जो horizontal balance of payment बनाते थे, उसमें क्रेडिट साइड रिसीट साइड होता था लेफ्ट हैंड साइड, और डेबिट साइड पेमेंट साइड होता है. और करंट अकाउंट में बैलेंस ऑफ ट्रेड आता है, मीन्स विजिबल आइटम्स, मीन्स एक्सपोर्ट एंड इंपोर्ट ऑफ गुड्स. देन एक्सपोर्ट एंड इंपोर्ट ऑफ सर्विसेज, जो इनविजिबल आइटम होती है वो भी आता है. देन यूनिलैटरल ट्रांसफर, इंटरेस्ट, रेंट, डिविडेंड, रिसीव्ड एंड पेड भी, ये भी आता है. तो चेक करते हैं. ए, इनविजिबल एक्सपोर्ट एंड इंपोर्ट कवर होता है, यस. डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट कैपिटल अकाउंट में जाता है, यूनिलैटरल ट्रांसफर करंट में जाता है. एचडीआर एलोकेशन नहीं जाता क्योंकि ये फॉरेन रिजर्व को रिप्रेजेंट करता है, फॉरेन रिजर्व के साथ एडजस्ट होता है और कैपिटल अकाउंट में भी जाता है. तो डी इज नॉट करेक्ट. बोरोइंग फ्रॉम फॉरेन कंट्री, ये कैपिटल अकाउंट में जाता है, इसलिए E is also not correct. So A and C are correct answer. Option 3 is correct answer. Question number 116. Which of the following are not true pertaining to Wagner's law of increasing state activities? Option A. Wagner's law is classified as positive theory of public expenditure. True, because positive theory explain करता है और जो normative theory होता है वो क्या होता है? Which shows what ought to be, recommend करता है, पर वॉगनर्स थियरी एक्सप्लेन करता है, recommend नहीं करता है, इसलिए statement 1 is correct. Next, public sector in industrializing nations grow as a proportion of total economic activity with increase in per capita income and output. So this is also correct because increase in national income increases demand for education, health, infrastructure, etc. Hence, public expenditure also increases. Option C. Proportionate increase in public sector is not constant but increasing with increase in total economic activity. True, because Wagner said it is rise in non-linear, more than proportionate and not constant. So option C is also correct. Then option D. The law accounts for the effect of war on public expenditure. So it is not war effect, but it is based on peacetime development. So option D is not correct. And public expenditure tends to grow in stepwise manner. No, it grows continuously, not in stepwise. So option D and E are not true. Option 4 is correct. Question number 117. Which of the following are true in case of externality? Option A. In case of externality, all costs and benefits associated with the goods are not internalized by households and firms involved in buying and production. True. B statement. Presence of externality results either underproduction or overproduction of goods. Correct. C. Market-based decision making yield an efficient outcome in the presence of externality. No. Market alone cannot reach efficiency in presence of externality. D. In case of negative externality, the marginal social cost is higher than marginal cost. Marginal social cost is higher than marginal cost. Correct. And E. Well-defined property right can solve problem of externality. Correct. So option A, B, D, E statement A, B, D, E. Option 3 is correct answer. Question number 118. Which of the following are true about new classical approach? The main protagonist was R.E. Lucas Jr. True, because he is the father of new classical approach. B. It is based on adaptive expectation. No, it is based on rational expectation. C. It was developed during 1950s. No, it was developed during 1970s. So statement C is also wrong. Complete wage and price flexibility, true, because it assumes perfectly flexible market. And option E, statement E, difference between actual and expected price is random error, true, because that's why it is called rational expectation. So option statement A, D, E are correct. A, D, E. Option 2 is correct answer. Question number 119. Which of the following are not an assumptions of PIP? Rational expectation, it is an assumption. Policy changes are not anticipated. No, it is anticipated. Economic agents have full information. True. Nominal variables influence economic decision. No, nominal does not influence real variable. So option D is not correct. And E, output and employment are at their neutral level. Correct. So A, C, E are correct and B and D are not an assumption. So option 1 is correct answer. Question number 120. In the context of neoclassical growth model, the effects of increasing population growth rate is dash. Statement 1. Reduction in steady state level of per capita head capital per head. Correct. Because capital will be distributed among more workers, so capital per head will be reduced. So statement 1 is correct. Next, increase in per capita output? No, because per capita output depends on capital per worker, and since capital reduces, per capita output also reduces. Next, increase in steady state growth, increase in steady state rate of growth of aggregate output? Correct, because increase in N also increases G of Y. Next, decrease in capital output ratio? No, it remains constant. So D is also wrong statement. And E, an inward shift in production possibility को PPC. Inward shift होगा? No, because more labor means higher productive capital and hence it will be increased. So option A and C, statement A and C are correct, only option 3 is correct answer. Question number 121. According to Rosto, any industry can play the role of leading sector in the takeoff stage, provided following conditions are met. Statement A. The market for the product is expanding rapidly, correct? The leading sector generates secondary expansion, correct? The sector has an adequate and continual supply of capital from plug back profit, correct? Plug back profit means a part of profit which is reinvested in the business. Then introduction of new technique into the sector to increase productivity, true. E statement. Changes in industrial structure should be structural ones. No, it is not a condition. So option statement A, B, C, D are correct. And option 4 is correct answer. Question number 122. Which of the following statement correctly describe the concept of efficiency in environmental economics? Statement A. All allocation is Pareto efficient if no one can be made better off without making someone else worse off. ट्रू, पैरेटो इफेक्ट क्या बोलता है कि अगर किसी को प्रॉफिट होगा तो किसी को तो लॉस होगा ही. तो स्टेटमेंट इज ए इज करेक्ट. बी, efficiency ensures fair and equitable distribution of resources among all individuals. No, efficiency is not equal to fairness, so it is out of. And efficiency means optimum utilization of resources, so B is not correct. C statement. Market allocations are efficient only in the absence of market failures such as externality, correct? D. Efficiency is normative concept concerned with what should be done based on social value, societal value. No, it is positive concept. It represents what it is and not normative जो represent करता है what should be. So efficiency is positive concept but not normative. So D statement is wrong. Let's check E. Environmental policies that internalize externalities like taxes can improve efficiency. True. So option A, B, E are correct. A, C, E are correct. Option 3 is correct answer. Question number 123. According to Cauchy theorem, which of the following are possible outcomes of assigning property rights? Option statement A. The polluter pays the victim to continue polluting. Correct. The victim pays the polluter to reduce pollution. ये भी true है. The statement must set pollution taxes to ensure efficiency. No. No government tax is needed. Means no government tax is needed if bargaining works. Then D. Market outcomes can achieve efficiency even if externalities exist. True. And the polluter and victim always have equal bargaining power. No, it is not an assumption. हमें सिर्फ assumptions पूछे. तो A, B, D are correct and option 2 is correct answer. Question number 124. Which of the following are correct about the revised criteria of micro, small and medium enterprises effective from 1st April 2025 as per Union Budget 25-26? तो पहले ये डिटेल निकाल लेते. Micro, small and medium enterprises are categorized in this way. The following conditions should be met. माइक्रो के केस में इन्वेस्टमेंट शुड बी अप टू 2.5 crore and turnover up to 10 crore is classified under micro industry. Small industries जिसमें इन्वेस्टमेंट अप टू 25 करोड़ और टर्नओवर अप टू 100 करोड़ होगा, और मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस आर दोस जिसका इन्वेस्टमेंट अप टू 50 करोड़ और टर्नओवर अप टू 250 करोड़ होगा, मीन्स मोर देन 100 करोड़ बट लेस देन 250 करोड़ होगा, तो मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस में कंसिडर होगा. तो स्टेटमेंट चेक कर लेते. An enterprise is classified as micro if investment in plant and machinery does not exceed 2.5 crore. True. Option A is correct. A medium enterprise is one whose turnover does not exceed 50 crore. No. Turnover does not exceed 250 crore. So option B is not correct. A small enterprise has investment up to 10 crore. Investment small enterprise का 10 crore है क्या? नहीं, 25 crore है. तो C is also not correct. A micro enterprise is one whose turnover is up to 10 crore. माइक्रो में इन्वेस्टमेंट टर्नओवर अप टू 10 करोड़ है, तो डी इज करेक्ट. एंड स्मॉल एंटरप्राइज हैज टर्नओवर लिमिट अप टू 100 करोड़. स्मॉल एंटरप्राइज का 100 करोड़ का टर्नओवर लिमिट है. ट्रू. तो ए, डी एंड ई आर करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. ए, डी, ई एंड ऑप्शन 2 is correct answer. Next, question number 125. Which of the following are correct about FTP 23 of India? A. India's FTP 23 promotes cross-border trade in digital economy. Correct. FTP 23 emphasize on creation of e-commerce export hubs. True. ये भी correct है. C. It prohibits export and import of arms related materials from Iraq or to Iraq. ये भी true है. DGFT का नोटिफिकेशन आया था डायरेक्टर जनरल ऑफ फॉरेन ट्रेड का. सेम वे, if it prohibits import of charcoal from Somalia, ये भी करेक्ट है. सेम DGFT का नोटिफिकेशन है. It emphasizes strengthening trade with democratic peoples of Republic of Korea. इन मीन्स नॉर्थ कोरिया की बात हो रही है. In combat aircraft, missile and arms related materials. No. ये यूएन ने प्रोहिबिट किया है नॉर्थ कोरिया को डील करने में, और इंडिया भी डील नहीं कर सकती है आर्म्स एंड मिसाइल्स में. तो ए, बी, सी, डी आर ओनली करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट्स. तो ऑप्शन 4 इज करेक्ट आंसर. नेक्स्ट, क्वेश्चन नंबर 126. मैच द लिस्ट 1 and 2. प्लेइंग ईच स्ट्रेटेजी विद प्रोबेबिलिटी. पहले हम चेक कर लेते लिस्ट 2 में क्या क्या है. नैश इक्विलिब्रियम, ग्रिम ट्रिगर स्ट्रेटेजी, बेस्ट रिस्पॉन्स फंक्शन एंड मिक्स स्ट्रेटेजी. ओके, अब चेक करते. प्लेइंग ईच स्ट्रेटेजी विथ प्रोबेबिलिटी, इट इज मिक्स स्ट्रेटेजी. तो ए का आएगा 4. देन बी, मैक्सिमम पे ऑफ गिवन द स्ट्रेटेजी ऑफ अदर, तो इट इज बेस्ट रिस्पॉन्स फंक्शन. 4 का आएगा 3. लॉन्ग रन बिहेवियर, दिस रिप्रेजेंट्स Nash equilibrium, तो 1. and period of punishment is infinite in case of grim trigger strategy, so 2. 4, 3, 1, 2 is correct statement and correct match, and option 4 is correct answer. Question number 127. Again match list 1 and list 2. Income elasticity greater than 1, positive cross elasticity, downward sloping price consumption curve, and negative income effect. Substitute goods, inferior goods, luxury goods, or relative elastic demand. तो income elasticity greater than 1 ये होगा luxury goods, because luxury goods have higher income response. Then positive cross elasticity ये होगा substitute goods, because price of X increases, so demand for Y also increases. इसको और इलेबोरेट करता हूँ. इफ प्राइस ऑफ एक्स इंक्रीजेस, so demand for X decreases and customer will shift towards Y, so demand of Y increases. Price of X increases, so demand of X decreases and demand for Y increases. तो ये होता है क्रॉस प्राइस इलास्टिसिटी, which is for substitute goods. देन डाउनवर्ड स्लोपिंग पीसीसी, ये होता है रिलेटिव इलास्टिक डिमांड, बिकॉज प्राइस अगर डिक्रीज हुआ तो क्वांटिटी डिमांड इंक्रीज होगा शार्पली। और लास्ट नेगेटिव इनकम इफेक्ट, ये होता है इंफीरियर गुड्स का, क्योंकि इनकम इंक्रीज हुआ तो डिमांड फॉर inferior goods will be decreased. So negative income effect होता है। करेक्ट सीक्वेंस होता है 3, 1, 4, 2। 3, 1, 4, 2। ऑप्शन 4 is correct answer. Next, question number 128. Match the list 1 concept and 2 given by whom? तो पैराडॉक्स ऑफ थ्रिफ्ट, इट इज गिवन बाय केन्स। ये क्या पैराडॉक्स एक्सप्लेन करता है? इंक्रीजिंग सेविंग मीन्स डिक्रीज इन डिमांड एंड डिक्रीज इन आउटपुट। दूसरा, वाटर डायमंड पैराडॉक्स, इट इज गिवन बाय एडम स्मिथ। इट एक्सप्लेन्स व्हाई वाटर इज चीप एंड डायमंड इज एक्सपेंसिव। नेक्स्ट, वेज एम्प्लॉयमेंट पैराडॉक्स वाज गिवन बाय पिगो, एसी पिगो। ये बताता है कि रियल वेज और अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट पैराडॉक्स का जो कंपैरिजन है, डिफरेंस है, वो उसके बारे में बात करता है। और लास्ट, मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक पैराडॉक्स, इट वाज गिवन बाय के बोल्डिंग। 3, 4, 1, 2, ऑप्शन डी इज करेक्ट आंसर। ऑप्शन 4 इज करेक्ट आंसर। नेक्स्ट, क्वेश्चन नंबर 129, लिस्ट 1 एंड लिस्ट 2 ये ड्रॉप कर दिया था क्योंकि ये क्वेश्चन में थोड़ा मिस्टेक है। यहाँ पे म्यू 4 आएगा, ये 3 के बदले 4 हो जाएगा। और ये जो है फॉर्मूला उसका म्यू 4 फोर काई स्क्वायर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का फॉर्मूला ये नहीं है, ये एक्चुअली 8/n, 8 डिवाइडेड बाई n। तो अभी चेक करते हैं कि क्या प्रॉपर सीक्वेंस होगा। बीटा 2 for chi-square distribution is 12/n plus 3. Skewness for chi-square distribution is square root of 8/n. Mode of chi-square distribution is n minus 2, and mu 4 for chi-square distribution is 48n plus 12n square. तो करेक्ट सीक्वेंस होगा 3, 4, 1, 2। 3, 4, 1, 2, ऑप्शन 4 is correct answer. Question number 130. Match the list 1 and 2. The mean of a hypergeometric distribution is option 3. The moment generating function of negative binomial distribution is option 2. Then coefficient of kurtosis of binomial distribution, option 4. And the variance of geometric distribution is q divided by p square. So correct sequence is 3, 2, 4, 1. 3, 2, 4, 1. Option 2 is correct answer. Next, question number 131. List 1 and list 2 are given. So integration के related है 1 divided by 1 plus x square dx. तो इसको solve करेंगे तो ये आएगा that is 3/2. इसका एंटी डेरिवेटिव करेंगे तो 10 पावर -1 x होगा, और 10 पावर 1 इनफाइनाइट होगा तो ये बन जाएगा पाई डिवाइडेड बाई 2, और 10 का पावर -1 ऑफ 0 करेंगे तो ये निकलेगा 0। तो करेक्ट आंसर इज पाई बाई 2। ए का 3 आएगा, देन बी का इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ 1 डिवाइडेड बाई स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ एक्स dx। तो इसको डाइवर्ज करेंगे, रीराइट करेंगे तो ये बनेगा x का पावर -1/2, और एंटी डेरिवेटिव करेंगे तो निकलेगा 2 स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ x, और इवेल्युएट करेंगे तो इसका आएगा इनफाइनाइट। तो इट डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट, ऑप्शन 1। देन इसका 1/3 होगा, रीराइट करेंगे तो निकलेगा x का पावर -4, और एंटी डेरिवेटिव किया तो 1 डिवाइडेड बाई एक्स क्यूब, 3 × x³ तो इसका लिमिट निकालेंगे x विच इज इनफाइनाइट, तो ये आएगा क्यूब विच इज 0, तो -1/3 x को -1 से रिप्लेस कर देते, क्यूब होगा विच इज 1/3। तो करेक्ट आंसर इज 2, एंड लास्ट का होगा 4। तो 3124 3124 is correct answer, option 3. Next, question number 132. List 1 and list 2 are given. Previous singer hypothesis, Thomas Moon, Jagdish Bhagwati, or Paul Samuelson and Ronald Jones. So, specific factor model was introduced by Paul Samuelson. Immeasurizing growth by Jagdish Bhagwati. Mercantilism theory of international trade was given by Thomas Moon, and secular deterioration secular deterioration of terms of trade was provided by Pribesh Singers. So 4, 3, 2, 1 is correct sequence, and option 2 is correct answer. Next, question number 133. List 1 and list 2 are given. Paul Samuelson, Keynes, Sydney और मुंडेल फ्लेमिंग मॉडल. ये चेक करते हैं. Income included adjustment process of balance of payment is provided by J.M. Keynes. So A का आएगा 2. Absorption approach of balance of payment was provided by Sydney. Option 3. Impossible trinity is given by Mundell-Fleming model, and factor pricing equalization theorem was provided by Paul Samuelson. 2, 3, 4, 1 is correct sequence, and option 2 is correct answer. Question number 134. List 1 criteria of 15 Finance Commission and list 2 weight as per recommendation of 15 Finance Commission for horizontal devolution is given. हमें पाई चार्ट से मिल जाएगा पूरा क्लासिफिकेशन. इनकम डिस्टेंस 45% है, पॉपुलेशन 15%, फॉरेस्ट एंड इकोलॉजी 12.5% और डेमोग्राफिक परफॉर्मेंस 10% है. तो करेक्ट सीक्वेंस क्या होगा? 3, 1, 2, 4. 3, 1, 2, 4. Option 3 is correct answer. Next, question number 135. List 1 items of receipt and list 2 share of total receipt in percentage as per Union Budget 25-26 दिया है. तो करेक्ट सीक्वेंस क्या होगा? इनकम टैक्स 22%, कस्टम 4%, कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स 17%, यूनियन एक्साइज 5%. तो करेक्ट सीक्वेंस होगा 3, 1, 4, 2. तो correct answer is option 3. Next, question number 136. Monetary policy regime and periods, list 1 and list 2 are given. So, fiscal dominance when government drove monetary policy, that is 1951 to 1985. Then multiple indicator approach was provided by Hawtrey Committee during 1998 to 2016. Monetary targeting with feedbacks during post Chakravarti Committee, that is 1985 to 1998, and flexible inflation targeting, that is when RBI adopted inflation targeting framework during 2016. So correct sequence is 2, 3, 4, 1, and correct answer is option 2. Next, question number 137. List 1 concept and list 2 their expression, where GM equals to manufacturing output growth, GDP means GDP growth, PNM means productivity in outside manufacturing, and PM means productivity in manufacturing. तो A, Kaldor's first law of growth क्या बताता है? उसका फॉर्मूला क्या है? GDP growth depends on positive GDP growth depends positive on manufacturing goods. So option 3 is correct. Then Kaldor's second law of growth क्या बताता है? Manufacturing production increases with manufacturing growth. So option 1 is correct. Then Kaldor's third law of growth ये क्या बताता है? Outside manufacturing product improves with manufacturing goods. और Okun's law क्या बताता है? Relationship between unemployment and output. तो ये है option 2. 3, 1, 4, 2. 3, 1, 4, 2. Option 3 is correct answer. देन क्वेश्चन नंबर 138 को ड्रॉप कर दिया गया था। कंटिन्यू करते हैं 139 को। क्वेश्चन नंबर 139, लिस्ट 1 and list 2 is given. Inverted U hypothesis was given by Simon Kuznets. Sustainable development theory ग्रोहेलन ने दिया था. Then ecological economics was provided by Herman Daly, and tragedy of commons is provided by Garrett Hardin. So correct sequence is 3 4 1 2. 3 4 1 2, option 3 is correct answer. Then question number 140, list 1 renewable energy source and list 2 percentage of total energy production as on 30th November 2024 as per इकोनॉमिक सर्वे 24-25 दिया है. तो सोलर एनर्जी, हाइड्रो, न्यूक्लियर एंड विंड एनर्जी का प्रोडक्शन कितना हुआ था वो बताया. तो सोलर एनर्जी 20.60% प्रोडक्शन हुआ था, हाइड्रो एनर्जी 10.30%, न्यूक्लियर 1.80 और विंड एनर्जी 10.50% हुआ था. तो करेक्ट सीक्वेंस क्या है? 2 3 4 1. 2 3 4 1, ऑप्शन 1 is correct answer. Next, question number 141 to 145 is based on information given below. Answer the questions. Two fair dice are thrown independently. Three events ABC are defined as follow. A event, odd face with first dice. Okay, first dice odd. B, second dice odd. And C, sum of point on two dice is odd. ओके, तो सम मीन्स टोटल बताया है, हमें आइडेंटिफाई करना है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 141, फाइंड द पी ऑफ सी. प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ सी कितना होगा वो हमें आइडेंटिफाई करना है. सम ऑफ पॉइंट ऑन टू डाइस इज ओड, ये हमें आइडेंटिफाई करना है. तो दोनों डाइस पे ओड होगा, उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी 50% होती है, इसलिए दैट इज 1/2. तो ऑप्शन 2 इज करेक्ट आंसर. फिर भी अगर डिटेल में समझना है तो देखो, अगर P of first dice is odd means टोटल 6 में से 6 जो काउंट है उसमें से 3 टाइम्स odd आ सकता है, दैट इज 1 3 and 5. तो प्रोबेबिलिटी है हाफ. सेम वे सेकेंड डाइस में भी जो इवेंट बी है उसमें भी odd आने के चांसेस सेम है, 3/6, क्योंकि 1 3 5 आ सकता है, तो हाफ प्रोबेबिलिटी हो odd आने की. और सेम ऑप्शन सी में क्या बोला है कि सम ऑफ पॉइंट ऑन टू डाइसेस इज ऑड. तो इसके लिए क्या करना होगा कि प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ सेकंड डाइस इज ऑड या सेकंड डाइस इवन का भी सेम प्रोबेबिलिटी आएगा. अब हमें आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि पी ऑफ सी कितना होगा. तो पी ऑफ सी मीन्स एक फर्स्ट ऑड आएगा, सेकंड इवन आएगा, या फिर ये भी पॉसिबिलिटी है कि फर्स्ट इवन आए और सेकंड ऑड आए. तो इसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी है हाफ, इसकी भी है हाफ, प्लस इवन आने की भी प्रोबेबिलिटी है हाफ और ऑड आने की भी प्रोबेबिलिटी है हाफ. तो 1/4 प्लस 1/4 दैट इज इक्वल्स टू हाफ. तो ऑप्शन 2 इज करेक्ट आंसर. नेक्स्ट, क्वेश्चन नंबर 142, फाइंड द प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ ए इंटरसेक्शन बी. तो सबसे पहले तो ए फर्स्ट डाई ओड आने की प्रोबेबिलिटी है 1 3 5, दैट इज 3 वेज. एंड बी सेकेंड डाई ओड आने की भी प्रोबेबिलिटी है 1 3 5, तो 3 वेज है, तो टोटल 3 into 3 9 वेज हो जाएंगे. और दोनों ही ओड है, तो टोटल आउटकम हो जाएगा 36, क्योंकि 6 into 6 लेना है. मैक्सिमम जो डाइस पे नंबर होता है वो 6 होते हैं, और दो डाइस का प्रोबेबिलिटी हो जाएगा 36. तो P of A intersection B equals to 9 of 36, that is 1 divided by 4. 4. So correct answer is option 4. Next, question number 143. Find the P probability of A intersection C. तो सेम वे हमें कैलकुलेट करना है. फॉर A मीन्स फर्स्ट डाई ओड है तो 135 प्रोबेबिलिटी 3 आउटकम्स होगा, और सी का सेकंड इवन होगा तो 246 3 प्रोबेबिलिटीज 3 आउटकम्स, तो total favorable is 3 by 3 9, and total outcome is 36, so 9 divided by 36, again 1 divided by 4, so option 4 is correct answer. Question number 144, find the probability of B intersection C. तो सबसे पहले B का जो सेकंड ओड आएगा उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी है 135, 3 वेज में आएगा, और फर्स्ट इवन आने के भी चांस 246, 3 वेज है तो 3 by 3 9 होगा, और सी के लिए सम ओड आने के चांसेस क्या है, 1 ओड प्लस 1 इवन आ सकता है, तो ऑप्शन 3 इज करेक्ट आंसर. Question number 145, find the probability of A intersection B intersection C. So if first odd and second odd होगा तो sum odd plus odd even होगा. So if A intersection B happens, then C cannot happen. That's why A intersection B intersection C is null. So option 1 is correct answer. Next, question number 146 to 150 belongs to reading comprehensive, and question number 146, which of the following reflects the RBI strategy in managing transient inflation shock? ये लाइन 6 एंड 7 में दिया है यहाँ से, तो इसका मीनिंग क्या होता है, इमीडिएट रेट हाइक, मेंटेनिंग स्टेटस क्यू विद calibrated liquidity tools. Correct. Option 2 is correct. Question number 147. The term withdrawal accommodation in monetary policy implies increase in CRR, active bond purchase, gradual normalization of policy stance, or expansionary fiscal stimulation. Option 3 is correct answer. इसका मीनिंग होता है slowly removing extra liquidity from the market or economy. So option 3 is correct answer. Next, question number 148. VRR operations indicate dash. Long-term capital infusion, structural adjustment of fiscal deficit, active short-term liquidity absorption, or decrease in SLR. So option 3 is correct answer. Then question number 149. Which concept is implicit in RBI's focus on anchoring inflation without immediate rate action? Passive targeting, expectation management, credit rationing, or monetary expansion? Correct answer is expectation management. And last question, the RBI's consideration of global interest rate in differential primarily relates to dash. Domestic food inflation, foreign portfolio inflow, foreign portfolio flow, and exchange rate management, retail credit growth, or agriculture policy. Option 2 is correct answer. So here we have completed UGC NET paper 2 of economics for June 2025 question paper. Happy learning. Bye.